Let's start with a short meditation to center and to arrive mentally. Sit upright in a comfortable position and close your eyes. Keep your spine straight and your neck upright. Take a deep breath through the nose into your belly. Hold for a little while and breathe out through the open mouth. Put your attention on your breath. Don't concentrate or focus too hard. Don't strain. Just allow yourself to get calm and peaceful, to get out of your thoughts, to arrive mentally in the here and now. Observe emerging emotions, thoughts, pictures that come and go. Don't try to suppress anything. You are like a dispassionate observer. Just arrive in the here and now. And don't forget to smile to the outside and to your inside. At the end, put your awareness back to your body and your environment. Open very slowly your eyes. Take your time. SWADHYAYA, the fourth Niyama in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. SWADHYAYA means self-inquiry, self-analysis, metaphysical study, and meditative contemplation to apprehend one's true essence and the reality of God. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 244, we can read: insightful study and analysis of higher realities and intensive spiritual practice result in God realization. From the commentary of Roy Jean Davis about SWADHYAYA. An intellectual understanding of what God is, what souls are and their origins, and physical and metaphysical laws of cause and effect enable us to know our relationship with God and the universe, live effectively, and meditate skillfully. The fourth Niyama, SWADHYAYA, describes how insightful study, analysis of higher realities, and intensive spiritual practice will lead to God realization. The real goal of insightful study is inner realization and revelation, the actualization and demonstration of revealed knowledge, not merely theoretical abstract learning, intellectual understanding, or empty recitation. The content, essence, and true meaning of revealed knowledge should be compared with everyday experiences in the challenging arena of life and observed, explored, analyzed, and cultivated with detached serenity and patience. A careful observation of the mind with its emerging thoughts, fears, and feelings of happiness, with its constantly changing mental and emotional states, conscious or unconscious reactions or reaction patterns, can be at the beginning of a spiritual pause intense and overwhelming. An unwavering attitude of patience, equanimity, and trusting faith at the sadhana of the Kriya Yoga path, along with the constructive practices of self-questioning, self-analysis, metaphysical study, and meditative contemplation, are the keys to a growing understanding, increasing insights, and ultimately an awakening to self-realization and God-realization. Patience, serenity, and faith. When the entanglements and problems of everyday life seem overwhelming and oppressive, and a life crisis or even an existential crisis reaches us, our soul comes knocking, and we embark on a spiritual quest. If we don't blame the whole world for our personal crisis, but gratefully view it as an opportunity to grow, to see everything as it really is, without identifying with it, we have a chance to let go attachments and fixations and open ourselves up to higher guidance and new insights towards a dharmic, self-determined, and constructive life. When we allow grace to bless us, and when we have the courage to give up the endless illusory struggle in the outside world, to pause and become still, insights and ways to a fulfilled life and true peace will reveal themselves to us. In moments of apparent hopelessness and deep despair, when we see no way out or feel like we are wandering aimlessly in the darkness, it can be comforting and encouraging to pick up a sacred text, such as the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita, and open it at any page, right? Isn't it amazing how a page opened seemingly at random always offers a new perspective that calms the soul, touches our true essence, frees the mind from gloom, and provides a specific message that you need at this moment and for which you are now receptive. Your attention is immediately redirected to the here and now, and pessimistic thoughts seem to vanish into thin air. You have probably had the experience of reading an exciting book, putting it aside, and then picking it up again later by chance, only to find that it feels like a completely different book when you read it again, revealing new perspectives and impressions, as if you were reading a completely different book, didn't you? Sacred books and texts have this enormous potential because their authors wrote them in a higher state of consciousness, and they contain metaphysical dimensions beyond visible reality. When I asked Roy Jean Davis how he writes his books, He replied, "It's very simple. Early in the morning I meditate. Then I write." Paramahansa Yogananda was once asked why his book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, which has been translated into over 50 languages, has had such a profound influence on so many people. He replied, "Because my spirit is in it." And indeed, anyone who has read this book will confirm that it is the biography of an authentic seeker of God, who shares with us deep insights into his mystical experiences and revelations, which touch us on a deep soul level, remind us of our true nature, and move and motivate us to embark on a spiritual quest. His advice to his disciple Roy Jean Davis was, "Read a little, meditate more, always think of God." It is a great blessing and fortune to find inspiring and uplifting books written by people who have experienced and live what they write about. The written text and message then comes across authentic, genuine, and credible. We feel touched on an inner level where we are all one. The content and message reflect the author's state of consciousness at the time the text was written. It also reflects a certain prevailing cultural context and spirit of the time, as well as a particular perspective and point of view of the author. That's why it is important not to view books, texts, stories, or even characters as a one-to-one instruction, a manual or blueprint for one's own life and behavior. The content should be examined with a critical mind, asking oneself what the author was trying or intended to say when he wrote it. One should ask why this affects me, what emotions and thoughts arise within me, or what insights or perspectives open up for my life. Books and texts can offer insights into the path to self-knowledge and self-realization, a path that each individual must follow on their own and cannot follow anyone else. Regularity in self-reflection and self-analysis are the way. It can seem difficult, not only for a newcomer on the spiritual path, to understand and internalize the knowledge contained in books and its meaning for one's own life, and to express it in one's own daily attitude and behavior. Patience and equanimity with oneself and the progress on a chosen spiritual path are essential, especially when progress is slow in the beginning. The prevailing state of consciousness, physical and emotional conditions, as well as the existing patterns of behavior and thought, are the result of long conditioning and are sometimes entrenched in painful experiences and paralyzing fears. It takes its time to cleanse, clarify, realign, and transform on all levels. A sensitive and carefully coordinated daily routine, sadhana, which includes the study of sacred texts, meditation, contemplation, and self-analysis, is of particular importance. It is crucial to schedule fixed times for routines and then practice regularly and consciously, always being clear about what you are doing and why. After a hard day's work between dinner and the news, reading a short paragraph with half attention and increasing fatigue will not bring satisfactory insights or lead to desired behavioral changes, but rather to giving up and trying something else. It is more beneficial to meditate early in the morning at a set time and in a specific place than to read a suitable text for 10 to 15 minutes and to give afterwards the mind the time to understand and process the essence. Some schools of higher knowledge take the approach of reading a spiritual text and then meditating on it without explaining or interpreting it beforehand. Short but regular sessions in a quiet environment with a calm mind and relaxed body are important keys to success. Regular, sincere self-analysis can help to recognize and reflect on the prevailing state of consciousness, conditionings and tendencies, as well as the progress and developments on the spiritual path to self-realization, and to identify and make necessary adjustments. The ethical and moral principles of the yamas and niyamas as a benchmark and ideal for a dharmic life can serve as guidelines for self-analysis and comparison with one's own behavior in daily life. The yogi scorecard can be a valuable tool for structured documentation, for focusing and cultivation. Meditative contemplation means thinking about a specific question or ideal in a superconscious state. Then, when you are completely relaxed, your thoughts and emotions have calmed down and became passive, and you are open and receptive. Meditative contemplation is not a form of internal intellectual discussion or debate, but rather a process of questioning and patiently waiting and listening until an inner insight reveals itself. This may emerge during the meditation session or at some point later. The practice of meditative contemplation can be very helpful on the path of self-exploration when examining existential questions or metaphysical realities. Questions to be investigated could be: what am I? What is God? What is a soul? Where do we come from and where we are going? These questions, insights, and revelations should guide us back to our true selves and allow us to look beyond the illusion of the physical body and all relative perceptions of the mind, in order to experience pure consciousness and our own pure essence. The highest reality, the purest essence, cannot be explained or put into words. It can only be experienced and realized. We cannot force it or make it happen. One's true nature can reveal itself through a contemplative process of self-exploration, through questioning and attentive observation in meditation. The investigation through the question, "What am I not?" can enable a gradual detachment from the illusory self, from identification with the body and mind, and from external circumstances. For example, you can use the question to examine temporary emotions, thoughts, feelings, fears, images of yourself as a father or a mother, as an employee, etc. And you will realize, I'm not that. That is not my true essence, my inner self. The meditative process of self-exploration through contemplation can lead you to the realization and experience that at the innermost level of your being, you are an immortal spiritual being. I am an immortal spiritual being. When you close your eyes and repeat this realization like a mantra and internalize it, when you immerse yourself in it, when it becomes the truth for you, ask, how will I think, speak, and act as an immortal spiritual being? How does it feel to be an immortal spiritual being? What is my perspective on others, the environment, to God? And then be open and receptive. Observe, listen, expect nothing. Insights will reveal themselves. Use this technique of creative imagination to cultivate and realize the attitudes and behaviors of SWADHYAYA. Knowing that you are a spiritual being, superior to your mind and to mundane circumstances, do the following. Meditate at the beginning alone, in a quiet place. Sit upright on a chair, close your eyes, and relax. Breathe 3 times deeply in and out. Concentrate on the area between the eyebrows and watch your breath. Don't try to control it. Just observe your breath. Feel the cool air while inhaling and warm air when exhaling. If you like, you can use a mantra. When your mind is calm and your awareness is clear, vividly imagine that you are SWADHYAYA. You maintain your daily self-analysis, metaphysical study, and meditative contemplation. There is no need to use willpower. Remember Patanjali's Yoga Sutra about SWADHYAYA. Insightful study and analysis of higher realities and intensive spiritual practice result in God realization. Clearly see yourself as this person who is fully established in SWADHYAYA, in self-inquiry and self-analysis, and feel it at the deepest level of your being. Imagine and feel how you as this person will think, How do you speak? And how will you act? The feeling that you have should be of acceptance and gratitude, rather than an emotion. Rest for a while in that awareness and feeling of accomplishment of SWADHYAYA. Now, bring your awareness back to your body and your circumstances. Take your time. And open very, very slowly your eyes. Maintain your clear awareness and feeling of accomplishment of SWADHYAYA after your practice session. Om.